Is this the end of bidding wars in the state of Utah when it comes to real estate? That's today's topic, and we're getting after it right now. A warm welcome to the Living in Utah channel. I'm Mike Gallagher. I'm a local real estate agent right here in the local area. And on this channel, we talk everything about the state of Utah, eating, sleeping, drinking, playing. So if this is your first time to my channel and you don't want to miss any content, you may consider tapping that subscribe button down below and hitting that bell notification. Apart from producing videos, we also help people buy or sell real estate right here in the local area. We do it 7 days a week. So if I can be of any assistance, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. We got your back when moving to the U-State. Over the last 2 years, the housing market has just been on fire. Not just in Utah, around the country. It has gone crazy. It's been a tough time, challenging time to be a buyer and also a real estate agent. I can remember going to many homes and there were waiting lines just to get in the property. Reminded me of those Thanksgiving sales where the doors are closed, everybody's lined up outside, the doors open, people run in to grab that $400 TV. The same thing was happening with some homes. Open houses were just as bad. Reminds me of a New Year's Eve party, packed solid, and you're trying to move around going, excuse me, can I get in the kitchen? Can I get in the bathroom? Can I get in the bedroom? Packed solid. But what caused this, and how did we get to this point? We got started down this journey by the lowering of interest rates. During the pandemic, the government made a decision to go out there and purchase mortgage-backed securities to the tune of trillions and trillions of dollars. They purchased a lot of mortgages. That allowed the banks to go out and get more loans, do more business. And they did so in record numbers. People were flocking, doing refinancing, new purchases, which led the 30-year mortgage to go below the 3% mark. And not just for a little time frame. I know many people who received interest rates that were below 3%. Now, those interest rates are rising. Right now, we are over 5%. We are approaching 5.5% as I speak today. That makes us up over 2% just this year alone. And we're only in May. I mean, it's been a shock for buyers and for sellers. Yes, it's also a shock for sellers. There are sellers out there that are looking at purchasing another home, so they also have to get a new mortgage, and they will currently be paying over 5%. I know most people felt that the rates could not stay this low forever. It was a historically low number. But at the same time, most people felt that the rates would increase slowly, like maybe 3.25%, 3 or 4 months later, 3.5%, and then maybe by the end of the year, it would be up to maybe 4%. But then all of a sudden, bam, it felt like overnight we went straight to 5%. As interest rates have risen, we're also seeing some clients have been priced out of the market. They just can't afford it anymore, which is sad to see. I'm a big fan of home ownership. I think it's one of the great abilities that we have in this country to own your own home. Now, while some of those people have left the market, there are some new people who have entered the market. Kind of like they were like waiting on the sidelines, waiting to get into the game, and now the interest rates are rising. They're jumping in to try to find a home, and that is spurring some of the demand. But even with this little bit of an increase in demand, we are seeing a little bit of a slowdown. Not a crash or anything like that, just a little bit of a slowdown. And the multiple offer situation seems to be decreasing some. But if you have a home in a great neighborhood, in great condition, and it's priced right, you will still see multiple offers on that home. But instead of seeing 15, 20, 30 offers on a home, you may see 5 to 7 offers. Inventory is also slowly increasing. It's nowhere near, though, a balanced market. It's more weighted toward the seller side. And you're probably wondering, Mike, are there any price reductions in this market? We are seeing a few, mostly in the higher home price range, maybe $750,000 and up, your $1 million, $2 million homes. Anything below $750,000, if it's had a price reduction, it's probably because it was priced above the local comps for the area. So basically, it was overpriced from the beginning. Some sellers feel that the rocket ship is still taking off, when actually the rocket ship is leveling off. Now, over the last couple of years, we've also seen homes sold in 24 to 48 hours. Now we're seeing a little bit more breathing room. We have a little bit more time. I can remember one listing. It hit the market in the morning. I made an appointment for the afternoon to go do a video tour. I was on my way to do the video when I received a phone call from the agent. They were cutting off any new offers, so I needed to submit my offer right at that moment. It was like, it's been on the market for 6 hours, folks. Now, with that information, I'm not saying that we're having a housing market crash, but we may get back to a normal market, a market where prices will probably hold steady. None of this crazy appreciation of 15, 20, 30, 40%. Really, that's just not sustainable over a long period of time. I've always felt that the main thing that will slow the market will be a rise in interest rates and anything to do with the economy. As the interest rates rise, the more you will pay for that loan over a period of time. Now, going from 3% to 5%, it's been a little bit of a shock for a lot of people. It was actually a shock for me. I actually felt it happened overnight. It seems so time just seems to be going by so quick and the rate just boom, boom, boom. I think eventually we're going to settle in at a particular rate and we're going to stay there for a period of time. What that number is anyone's guess, but the Federal Reserve has indicated that they will raise the base rate throughout 2022. With that in mind though, mortgage rates are not based off of the federal fund rate. They are based off the 10-year Treasury note. But I've also noticed over time, as one rises, the other one seems to follow right along. That's why some people have wondered, interest rates rose earlier in the year, but the Fed did not increase the federal rate. No, because it follows the 10-year Treasury note. It's one of the reasons that mortgage rates actually change on a daily basis, because that 10-year Treasury note also changes on a daily basis. With the interest rate going over 5%, it's the highest that we've seen in about 13 years. Before the pandemic, the interest rate was around 4.5%, but it was slowly rising. Then the pandemic hit and the rates went down. Pretty much at the same time that the Federal Reserve was buying back those mortgage-backed securities, we saw the rates trickle down. But anytime now, the Federal Reserve will be putting those loans back onto the market. I've heard that they're going to start in June. There's some debate with that happening. Will interest rates rise? When they bought those mortgages, interest rates went down. So as they put those mortgages back into the market, will they increase? I'm not too sure at this point, but I will keep you informed. These low interest rates, it was a great run while it lasted. And I don't anticipate seeing the 3% loans this year unless we have some kind of world event that devastates the United States like the pandemic did. But I've got another reason why we may see the death of the bidding wars. Mortgage applications are down, which will bring down demand. The buyer-seller equation, it may change. We may go to a balanced market. For the last couple of years, it's been swayed dramatically to the seller side. I've got a joke for you. Real estate agents were saying over the last couple of years, if it has a front door, it will sell. And that statement was pretty true. On a serious note, hopefully at some point, inventory and demand, it'll meet up. And maybe we'll see a slight drop in prices. Maybe a $700,000 home will take a $50,000 drop. Maybe a year from now, 2 years from now. I mean, it's not impossible. I think though, over the time period here, as the rates are increasing, some buyers may go to an ARM mortgage, adjustable rate mortgage. Some of the popular ones that are out there are the 7-year ARM or the 10-year ARM, which means you can lock in for that period of time, and sometimes that rate is lower than a 30-year fixed mortgage. How about new homes? I think the rising interest rates will hurt the new home builders. Say you sign a contract today for new home build from the ground up, you're starting with the dirt. You're about 8 to 9 months before that home is completed. What will the interest rate be? 5.5%, 7%, 8%? No one really knows. And it's tough to lock in a rate so far down the road. There are some builders that have homes that are about half complete through the framing stage, sheetrock stage. I think those homes will sell. People only have about 2 to 3 more months before it's complete and they can move in. They probably have a little bit better idea of what their interest rate possibly will be. But in general, I think new home starts may decline and inventory for new homes may increase. I'm being contacted all the time by new home builders. Hey Mike, we just had a home fall out of contract. Do you know anybody who is ready to move in right now? Well, my first response is, hey bro, it's been 2 years since we've talked. Yes, the new home builders have been that busy. As we wrap this up, in conclusion, I think the bidding wars are unhealthy for a real estate market. Buying a house is a very personal decision and it's very stressful. Then you add on a bidding war to the equation and it takes the excitement and enjoyment out of buying a home. I, for one, will not miss the bidding wars. But you're thinking, well, what about when you represent a seller, Mike? No, the last couple years it's been tough. I know many people that would like to sell their home, but they stay in that home because they do not want to join in on the bidding wars on their new home purchase.